Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We are taking on Nikki today, and we are going to try Bernadetta versus this Valentine's Rhea here, who is the far save in this situation. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure if she can actually do it or not. So we're going to find out. The thing is, Rhea isn't the greatest far save. She really, they really specifically built her for near saving, and I really want to credit them for that because they actually put a lot of thought into it. It's so rare, but the only thing that they didn't put in her kit, which would have fully balanced it out in comparison to someone like Marnie, is Rhea doesn't have the +7 healing, which is what makes her slightly not as great as Marnie. But then also drive save is better, so drive miracle is better than Marnie giving it to herself. So I guess they just did some trading there in terms of effects. But yeah, that's one of the main things that I focused on, just trying to provide to this Rhea some type of external healing support or healing in general by just swapping out one of her skills, maybe her C skill, maybe the seal. You have options there, Mystic Boost, to get healing. So yeah, that's really the main difference between her and Marnie, as well as the drive miracle and stats. The fact that she gives out stats as well. So yeah, they really went all in terms of just designing this unit, and it makes me feel really bad again for Beefcake's Bajaji, because that was just such a missed opportunity with her B skill to just make her better, because they've clearly done it with this Rhea, and they could have done the same with Pajab Beef, whatever her name is. And yeah, again, just another missed opportunity. But we're going to try out with Bernadetta. Downside to the Steam, as surely you're all aware, is just getting the effect for Bernadetta's thing to set up, so I always got to put her in the corner. Don't have a particular solution to this just yet, aside from I don't know, some type of ardent sacrifice, but that feels like a wasted slot. So I'd always rather have a positional, unless well, even in the case of healers, I'd run return, or worst case scenario, I'd run restore if I really needed it. Magic Shield Plus gives you the Canto, so it does it? I forget. I think it does, but yeah. I always want to go with the positional. It just does more for you. So yeah, let's see what the numbers are, and then figure out this map from here, because this is ultimately winner. Okay. This is ultimately win or lose based off whether or not Bernadetta can get this kill, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to hit a quad here to get through this Rhea, because I don't think 2 hits is going to be enough. Dying here. Let's see what else we can do. One of the things that I didn't bother doing is test Rhea as a far save, because she's clearly built to be a near saver, so I just didn't even bother to give her the fodder to far save. So it's interesting to see that someone has decided to go that route. I still think you have better options when it comes to far saving than Rhea. I mean, the numbers here are fairly decent, but I probably want to
don't be seen.
Contingent. Stress the fact that she has Hardy Bearing, and that's really the main thing that's stopping me here. Yeah, without the Hardy Bearing, I think I would get all 4 hits in. The question is whether or not I would get the kill. And I just looking at the damage output here, I'm pretty sure I would, because that's 2 hits of 99. Oh my god. Well, almost 99. 2 hits of almost 99 for what, 20 damage a piece, it looks like. So I think I'd probably get the KO if I was able to get the third and fourth hits in. She's pretty much taking me out on retaliation, even through the curve shot, which is a lot of firepower coming back at Bernadetta here. So for a situation like this, I'd be down to hitting the flash, but it looks like it's probably going to be a gamble in terms of this is one of those rare situations where I just don't know which one of these straps are real. And I can't reposition, and I can't swap because I lose an action. We're pretty much locked in at this point. There's no going back. So I'm going to gamble on a trap here, and if we get it right, we can potentially win. and if we get it wrong, that's pretty much an automatic loss. Alright, so there you go. We've lost the match. You know, what I could probably do is give her like a HP seal, a couple of HP seal, well, maybe just one. Well, it wouldn't be enough. It would have to be 10, yeah, at least, to be able to clear the hex trap. But yeah, we've lost. There's no way to recover this. We've committed far too deep. We went too far in to be able to pull out now. So yeah, this is GG's. I also kind of noticed that, I didn't notice to begin with, that Reagan had the Sigurd ring, and that makes the ranges a little bit more difficult to traverse in terms of trying to escape this, but it's totally fine. We got 8 ladders now, 8 of them, so I'm not too worried about throwing a match here or there. Don't know why they've given us this many extra ladders, because it's not like AR is getting any harder. So I don't know, the game mode is really diluted at this point in terms of difficulty when you have so many ladders to fall back on. But yeah, I think this is probably a good point. Let me actually try to see if we can, well, let me show you that there's no way out. Well, at least none that I can see. Primarily the fact is, the primary problem is that we wasted our... Well, it wasn't a waste, because that's kind of how this team functioned. Bernie has to get dance for it to begin to work. There's no going around that, because healing tower. If I drop the healing tower, then I'd have a lot more flexibility, but I don't want to do that, so it is what it is. And also now Bernadetta doesn't have her Canto, so if I did not Canto, then it would have been a little bit more, it would have been easier to run away here in this situation, because, well, maybe not, since she's not moving, so she wouldn't have gotten, well, she would have probably gotten the Canto too.
Yeah, sure I can.
Which, maybe, but then, yeah, Celica ring plus Reagan plus Micaiah. I don't think there's enough spots here that we would have been able to get out. It's fine. It's fine. Alternatively, I could have just thrown Ike at this, but I still don't like my Ike team. It's good. It's just Ike plus Mythic supports to get 20 HP, just to see how much he can tank. But nothing so far has really made me want to throw him into it. It's still early days. It's just the second day of the week, so I'm sure we'll get matches later on that will, you know, really test him out, or have the potential to test him out. But for now, nothing has really come up that would make me want to use that team. So it is what it is. Oh, I summoned on... Yo, they did a fantastic job of curating. It's different from creating. I guess maybe it's the same thing in this situation, because it's about the legendary Mythic Remix banners. And they did a fantastic job of putting that banner together, because the unit selections, chef's kiss, really, really good. Particularly the one that has Erica on it. Man, I have been waiting to get Erica for some time now, so I'm definitely going to go on that banner. And, well, what am I saying? I've already gone on that banner and pulled Sparked Erica, got another copy on my way to the summon. That's pretty much it. Nothing really, you know, too crazy went on from the summoning, but the banner was really, really nice. It was a fantastic unit selection. A lot of stuff there that would really help you out for Ether raids, for every game mode in general. So yeah, I would highly recommend pulling on that banner, of course. There's just so much good stuff there. I'd probably skip the... Well, I mean, it does go up to 120, but the Hero Fest banner, I'd probably skip that and pull on this one. I don't think I'm going to pull on the Hero Fest. There is the potential to spark Rearm Lucina, but the first set went so bad that I kind of don't want to go back in. I pulled on it to get Ivy, an Ivy copy. Only got one from the spark, so it wasn't that great. So I don't know, man. Let's... If anything, I'd probably want to go back on the Legendary Mythic banner and see what I can get. But GG's, this one was a loss. That's fine, man. You got me. See you in the next one. Okay, we got a another match here. We're gonna try this out to actually get a win this time. This is fine. We're gonna go up here with maybe Bridget and try to take things out here. Bridget has, the only thing that I'd probably want to add to this team is a way to get the extra hits in, so like dual strike or something like that, so that Bridget can get the third and fourth hits. Just to bypass shield fighter and stuff like that. But I don't know where I would fit that in. Probably from the summoning circle, but you'd really want something like that from the get-go. And I can't bench rune, so not a lot of options there. Unless you want to get rid of Lucina, but I kind of, she does so much that it's just impossible for me to drop her, so yeah. But anyways, the 16 defense here. 16 defense. Very rare. Well, I mean, I don't really stick around in the lower levels of AR for I don't sandbag, so I don't really you don't really come across this when you start to go up unless it's some type of armor ball. This is a pretty decent configuration. Nergal steals buffs. No snakes to really worry about in this season aside from blue knee togger, and it's rare whether or not you're going to run into that, especially not when the defense isn't too threatening. You could probably just even throw blue knee togger here and she'd solo. But we're going to do this with Bridget and gamble and trap and just get going. It doesn't really matter. I was listening to the voice lines for Athos and I was like, man, they really cooked when I can just imagine that voiceover recording session and them just being in there listening to him talk, and I was like, oh, this is the one. He probably did all of that in one take. Just Cole cut it out. He nailed it. The performance was spectacular. Just listening to the playback, it sounded so good. Same for Nergal. I want to say Nergal's voice actor also did a fantastic job. They really embodied the role and presented us with a fantastic piece of what's the word? Acoustic performance. I don't even think that's the right way to describe it, but it was really, really good is what I'm getting at. So I really like those two. Let's see what else. We got a legendary banner at the end of this month, which is interesting. I didn't really think but I guess it kind of makes up for the fact that they've pulled so many legendaries out of rotation. So it kind of makes up for the fact that we're down to we're up to 8 or 9 main legendary units. So I can understand them wanting to introduce more legendary units this year. They really didn't put out a lot last year. Last year was very what's the word? Emblem focused. So maybe this year they'll put more emphasis on giving us good legendary units. I can't think of a legendary unit that we got from last year that really stood out in my mind. The only one that I remember really is Corrin, and that was because he was so bad. I just remember him being really, really bad. That I don't even remember who the other legendaries were that we got last year. But yeah, glad that they are looking to provide us with some additional legendary support this year. It looks like I'm not people are saying that they're scraping the bottom of the barrel to get these additional legendary candidates in, and I'm totally fine with that. I think this year we should probably get even some legendaries from Engage. I think it's enough time. I think we could definitely get Vale, forgot about her. But, I mean, we can get another one. Not a Lear. Not a Lear. But, yeah, we can get some more. I think it's been enough time for us to get another one. That's totally fine.
I see.
I'm just happy with whoever gets in and them being strong. Because that's the whole idea behind the archetype, the legendary archetype. Right. Them just being the strongest version of themselves. It doesn't have to break the game, but just powerful. That's really all that you look for in a legendary unit. But yeah, I did in between recording this and the last video, I did go ahead and test the matchup between Bernadetta and Rhea with my Rhea. Basically just copied what I saw and did the same thing. Bernadetta wins. It wasn't a big surprise. The only problem was, of course, from the loss was the Hardy Bearing. Of course, without the Hardy Bearing, Bernadetta would have just gotten all 4 hits and been able to take out Rhea. She does need all 4 hits to actually get the job done into that Rhea, which is good for reference. That's good to know.
Right.
And yeah, at least for future reference, I'll know what to expect when I'm matching up into a unit like that. But otherwise, like I've been saying, Rhea is fantastic. Still, if you haven't pulled her, I highly recommend it. Even though me saying this, it means that I'm going to have to be facing more of her, but it's fine. You're going to need her because Edelgard is going to stomp you. Like, I'm highly recommending that you pull for Rhea. Yeah, that aside, pulled on the banner for the one that had Erica. I think I mentioned that. The other one with Ash is good, but like not really great. I'd love to, like, if I get like some extra orbs or something, I'll probably pull on it just so that I can spark a copy of Shez. I do want a +10 legendary female Shez. I really like her design. I think she's going to get an amazing refine when it does come around. Probably next year. I don't know. But she's going to be really, really nuts when her refine comes out because she does damage. And that's what you want from a unit. I think she's going to age just as well as Crom.
What about you?
Barring speed creep. If she can find a way to
What now?
be on the top of her game when it comes to being able to outspeed units, she will always just do a ton of damage. And if we get like additional debuffs that can, swing more stats in her favor, then that will just be a resurgence for her. So definitely looking forward to eventually +10ing her. Hopefully that can happen. I don't know. It's really hard to get copies of her. Or so far, she just hasn't been coming home. That's really been it. And one of the things that I like about these legendary mythic remix banners is not only the fact that it's not a 1 in 3 chance. It's also the fact that there's no pressure to pull for a specific new unit rather on these banners. You can just pick whatever you want, which is one of the drawbacks of legendary mythic emblem banners at the end of the month. Typically, if you go into that banner, you're looking to pick up the new unit. So if you don't get the new unit at Spark or on your way to Spark, you're more than likely going to Spark the new unit, which is usually what's been happening to me. I've not been getting the unit before Spark, or a lot of times if I do, I'm typically going for the +1. So these legendary remix banners, before with the other units on it, they were so bad to summon on. I just completely avoided them. But with the removal of those old legendaries, I think this is a really positive change because we're going to be seeing these units pop up more often, the powerful ones, the ones that are more recent. But GG's, see you in the next one.